If you clicked on this video, then there's probably something within you calling for change, calling for a transition from the life you've been living and the story you've been living by to a new place, to a place of wholeness, integration, where you no longer reject the areas of your mind, the parts of you you've suppressed, pushed away, but instead you want to move towards a wholeness, something that lives its life with intention rather than being controlled by our stories. If that's you today, I want to share with you a couple things that can hopefully move that along for you and make the transition and process inspiring and exciting. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you want to be a part of my community that works towards ego soul integration, then click that button below, sign up to my monthly newsletter where we talk about rebuilding purpose back into your life, rediscovering who you are, and living an ego soul integrated lifestyle. I'll send you my 3-step identity rebuilding guide as my gift to you. Stories control everything. We are controlled by stories. And oftentimes we're controlled by the stories that have either been imported or manufactured from within. Whenever we don't acknowledge and contend with our unconscious mind, the areas of our thoughts, of ourselves that we've suppressed and pushed down, fragmented and split, the ego lives one way and the soul is ignored. When we do that for a long period of time, then there are complexes, and complexes are emotional knots. They contain memories and stories and emotions that if we do not understand, if we do not bring forward into the conscious mind, then they will control you and they will dictate how you act. I always attach with it the saying, you ever live your life and then one day you act a certain way, you say certain things, or you find yourself in herd mentality and you go, I don't know what came over me. Something took control and I went red, or maybe I just got taken control over something in my mind and I snapped out of it later. Only upon reflection was I able to actually notice. And some of us can't even reflect on it. If that is happening to you, then there is unresolved conflict. The shadow is a mysterious place. The unconscious is a mysterious place. And what exists within it is ancient archetypal energy. And if I'm talking to men directly, we exist with 4 core archetypal energy. The king, the warrior, the magician, and the lover. The king being the very thing that contains your psyche together, holds you together, provides a vision for the future. It helps its people, blesses them. And then you have the warrior, which is in service to an ideal, in service to the king. Loyal, disciplined, slightly detached from emotion so that it can serve its purpose and serve its mission. You have the magician. The magician is the wise old sage, the carrier of knowledge, the intellectual. Then you have the lover, the sensual aspects of life, the poetry, sculpture, dance, scenery, nature. See, what's happened over time is a multi-layered issue. We have in one hand complexes, emotions, traumas, stories, and emotions knotted together that get at the center or wrapped around, depending on your interpretation, by archetypal forces and energies. That if we do not contend and understand their dynamic, they will control you in ways that you cannot understand. And within each archetype, you have 2 shadow aspects. The shadow is essentially the dark side of your personality, the side of you that can be vengeful, bitter, jealous. You have two sides to them. You have the inward expression and the outward expression of the shadow. The inward is those that do damage to themselves. They hurt themselves, they punish themselves because that's what they feel they deserve. And that's not what you deserve. And then you have the inverse, those who express it outwardly and hurt other people, manipulate other people as a way to balance, or as the complex's way of expression. And the way we can calm this down, the way we can bring it forward and have it not control you, but rather you co-author in your life story. Because you can't get rid of it. It is a part of you. But you can very well learn how to calm it down and not have it invade your ego and take possession of you. And the way to do that, first and foremost, is reflect inwardly with curiosity, adventure, compassion, love, and a firm hand. See, we have been led to believe nowadays that everything should be more sensitive, everything should be more emotional. It has its place. But as the masculine energy, it needs the balance of the king and the warrior and the magician. It needs everything, all working in harmony, for you to fulfill a purpose that you know you have. You can feel it, and I know you can sense it. But we've been squashing it and laughing at it, neglecting it, maybe out of shame, maybe out of wanting to blend in with people around us. But it is always there. And so when we first reflect inwardly with those states, love, compassion, firm hand, curiosity, adventure, you can then ask it, what is it that you're suffering with? What is it that you need from me? And you are going to feel emotions. You're going to feel maybe a sense of fear and panic and anxiety, because maybe it's something you've been buried for so long that bringing it forward is very potent. But you ride the wave through deep inhales, slow, deep breaths. When that spike comes in, allow yourself to sit in it. Don't run away from it. Don't fight it. Don't run away. Allow it to take its course to bring yourself back to level. Two things happening. You're bringing yourself back to level through calm, deep breaths, allowing yourself to recognize you're not in danger, you're fine, you're in a safe environment. Maybe you allow yourself a sacred space in your home, somewhere you can know you have privacy and that you know it's safe. And then you can transition yourself into asking questions, bringing it forward, contending with it. And when you contend with it, you are either letting go, that you're no longer this story, you're no longer this identity. You can abandon that, you can let it pass. And then while simultaneously bringing in aspects of that trauma, aspects of that memory that have served you, that's given you the life you have today. I want to share something with you as a final note. I used to go to church a lot when I was a kid. You know, I grew up in an Orthodox family and we went to church all the time. And I was an altar boy. So I was the one standing up on that altar. And I was a part of that for a very long time. But I was heavily bullied in that environment. Heavily bullied in that environment by two individuals. In between sermons, they would pull me in the back change room and they would beat on me, physically beat on me. And that went on for a long, long time. And I had a real struggle with God during that period and wondered why this was happening. And it developed a particular trauma and a pain that has always stuck with me since that experience. And I left. And when I left, I decided I got to do something so that this never happens again. I don't want to be rejected like this. All I want to do is to be a part of something and to have friends and people that I cared for and wanted to make people laugh. I was a very passive kid. I didn't want conflict, but I realized something had to change. I had to let go of something. And that trauma, that emotional knot, led me to train in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for 13 years, non-stop, every day. I sacrificed everything for it. Parties, girls, friends, everything. And I got myself to a very high level. I was multiple-time provincial champion, took third place at Worlds with Team Canada, and I've accrued over 40 medals in total. I think 80-90% of them being gold. But then at some point, I had to transition again because I let particular pains identify me. It was a story I let control me, but it wasn't a soul-led mission. It wasn't an integrated mission. My ego was in pain, and I suppressed emotions, and I moved forward. But when I let go of that old story that I forgive God, it was not God that did this to me. And then I integrated at the same time what it brought out of me: discipline, consistency, resilience. Now I'm in a top percentile of grapplers where I feel extremely confident that I'd be perfectly fine in a hand-to-hand situation. That has allowed me to evolve into the next step, which is the final phase. You let go, you integrate, and now reimagine your life moving forward. Reinterpret, because when you can incorporate your ego and soul and you integrate the two, purpose comes easy. Almost as if it falls on your lap. If this resonated with you and you felt connected to it, I openly invite you to my community where this is what we work on. We work on integrating the ego and the soul, going through a transition of our old psychology, our old way of being, into the new mature psychology, the evolved psychology, the purpose-driven psychology. And if you sign up to my monthly newsletter, this is what we talk about. And then in return, I want to send you my 3-step identity rebuilding guide as my thank you to you. This is a community I wish I had during my period of identity loss and crisis and not knowing who I am and what I'm supposed to do. And so it brings me absolute pleasure to pass this over to you. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.